people, how are you? I'm just figuring out my multiple screens. So funny. As per usual, I like to start by checking that you can actually hear me. So if you are here and you can hear me, then just drop in the comments and be like, yeah, we can hear you. Your sound is on. We can see you. We are good to go today. I'm going to start actually with overviewing what we've done the previous 2 days. Hello, lovely people. Drop the comment. Yes, there we go. You can hear me. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just speaking to myself. It's the sound off. I actually was coaching my Pride Magic before this, and I didn't have my mic in, so that was fun. But I set it up right for you guys. Okay, so you guys know what we're here for. We're talking all about the opposite of hustle, and I'm going to do a quick run through of what we've done so far because I know that sometimes you can't attend all the trainings. So for those of you that have, fucking amazing, love that commitment. And for those of you that haven't, also love your commitment in being here today because life happens, and actually it's quite a common thing that we'll do where we can't do something and then we just sack the whole thing off. So any of you that are here for day 3, part 3, I'm here for you. So good, I'm celebrating you. So we spoke on day 1 all about hustle, what hustle actually is, what hustle is a hustle, what hustle actually is not, right? Remember, hustle doesn't actually have to do with the number of hours we work or the number of tasks we do. It's really our intention behind it. We spoke about the hustle model, and lots of you guys created your own hustle model in the group, which is so powerful to see all of you being able to read and learn each other. So well done on doing that. We also saw very clearly that hustle isn't actually what's creating the results that we want. So there's no denying that. We had lots of different models. Hello. Lots of different models of people using hustle and it's not creating the results. So we've done the test, guys. It's not how it works. And then yesterday we spoke about flow. We spoke flow being the opposite of hustle. We spoke about what it's like to feel in flow. How do we know when we're in flow? We introduced the flow model, which is basically a blueprint for how to create flow and see it and really how to create success with ease. We saw the results that it creates. And when we compare those two side by side, it's pretty, I'm trying to think of the word, when there's a jury and everyone votes on the same side. Anyway, everyone can agree that we want to spend as much time as possible in the flow model and stop giving time to the hustle model. The reason why we separated out this training is because I know you guys are hustlers. That's why you are here. And even on the first day, there was a lot of, okay, but how do we solve it? How do we solve it? How do we solve it? And the time we spend skipping over the root and the cause is time that later keeps us going back to it and showing up to it. So really, I wanted to stretch this out and make it a little bit uncomfortable for you guys in service of you getting the most from this training. So, because again, what's happening on day 1 when we just want to get to the how and to get out of it is we're hustling away from where we are. So it's exactly what we're trying to solve here. So really, it's a powerful lesson of just slowing ourselves down, sometimes by a day, sometimes by a week, sometimes by a month. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to create flow on demand. This is the goal, this is the juice, this is what everybody wanted. And I actually have broken it down into, we know flow, we spoke about this yesterday. So flow is focus, clarity, and effortless ease. So when we're thinking about how to create flow, we're really thinking about how to create flow, focus, clarity, and effortless ease. So let's even start. I'm actually going to ask you guys to participate and engage first. How do you create focus? Can you think of a time where you felt focused? Can you think about what created it, how you made it happen, even what you were doing? I really encourage you guys to share something in the comments. I've got some answers too, but here's the thing. When I ask your brain questions and you answer it first, you learn a lot quicker and a lot faster than being told what to do. I know we all want to get told what to do. We think it's a shortcut, but it's like the shortcut to have the answer, but then it's way more effort to like build in and remember the answer. Whereas if our brains created the answer, it can take a bit more effort up front, but we remember it so much more afterwards. So it's like the upfront investment. One of the things I teach my time habits, right? How to invest time and invest our energy for like compounded results. Focus on one thing at a time. Put away my phone. Yes. So good. Phones are not designed for us to call friends anymore. Phones are these like permanent distractors. They make money. People make money when we are on them, right? Other people make money when we are on them. And I think I read somewhere that like Facebook and Instagram have been designed like slot machines in terms of the sound and the visual and the swiping, literally like the same as the slot machines. So they've been built to be addictive so other people can make money. So definitely putting the phone away. Okay, going to Starbucks for one specific reason, to write, not answer emails, text, just write. I would get so much done. Yes, literally moving yourself into an environment away from distractions. It hardly ever happens. Even watching a movie is hard. Yeah. Making it a priority, not allowing distractions. It's fun and I'm committed to doing only this for a time. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, we don't need to be, sometimes we think, oh, if I'm not focused all day or all afternoon, then I can't be focused, and that even ties into what Jessica's saying. But it's just building a muscle of like, I'm gonna have 5 minutes of focus time and being willing to like build it up from there. So even like if watching a movie is hard, could you set a timer on your phone of like, okay, I'm gonna have 5 minutes watching this movie with no distractions. Really good points, all of you. So, and some of them are things that I was gonna say as well. So one of the things that we can do is create a ritual around like leading in. So I love Sarah's example of going to Starbucks. It's like leaving the house, creating a new environment. I also have a client and she does like the leaving her gym clothes out the night before. So her ritual starts the night before. She wakes up straight into it. It's like our brain's already been prepared and planning for it. And again, what I just spoke about with Jessica, which is really like just starting and easing ourselves in. So those are some good ways to create focus. The second one is obviously no multitasking, no distractions, switching everything off, cleaning up your whole desk. The less you see, the better. You know, I speak about tabs in our screens open. It's funny because now today I do have 2 tabs today, but the less tabs, the better. Even if you're going to finish it later, you're not going to lose anything by closing the tab, but you are going to lose focus in the moment by the tab being open. And I also, focus is an emotion. It comes from our thoughts. So thinking thoughts like, I'm all in. I'm committed to this one task, which basically touches on what Sandra was just saying. Deciding to be committed, deciding to be all in, deciding like this is the only thing that I'm doing now, even if it's for 5 minutes, even if it's for 10 minutes. This is how you build the focus muscle. So there's lots of things like actionable things that you can take from what we've just said about how to build focus. Here's my recommendation. Pick one, right? We know how our brain is going to be like, I'm going to try and do everything from 0 to 100 miles an hour. And it never ends up well. It's really one of the ways our brain sabotages us. It's like, yeah, I'm all on board for this like focus thing. Let's just do it all then. We can just do it all. Like knowing that that's not really how our brains work or sustainable. It's like fad dieting, basically. So that's focus. Let's speak next about clarity. Again, you guys did so good. I want you guys to start answering first. How do you create clarity? How have you created clarity in the past? If you can think of like a moment where you experienced clarity, share some information with us below. And there's nothing too small and nothing too big. Our brain tends to dismiss things that are working sometimes, like it's not good enough. Remember the enough story from The Hustle. So have a think. How do you create clarity? I have some answers too. We just want your brains to work for a bit. And what's amazing is when you share it here, everyone benefits. listen to my intuition. Yeah, that's like what we spoke about yesterday, right? Trust is like a very trust-based emotion. You are trusting yourself. Really good. Yeah. Going on walks, having space where it's just me. Yeah. So good. Giving like literally giving your brain space to like even clear out all the cobwebs and focus. Stopping and planning first. Yeah. Experiences. Yeah. Making decisions and following through with them. And that creates confidence in our decision making, and then we feel like we know what to do all the time. Right. Like it's almost so simple, and our brain loves complicating it because our brains are built for a different time. Yeah, and the same thing, actually making a decision without second guessing. Yes. All of those all of those are excellent, and you really want to be like, so you can even make like an outstanding decision list. Here are all the things that are outstanding, and just like answer them one by one and commit to once it's answered, even if my brain tries to go back, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because that's the thing that I think a lot of us slip up on is we expect our brain to be on board just because we decided something. Like, I decided I'm going to get up at 7 a.m., therefore it's going to be easy. Versus like, oh, the resistance, your brain resisting is part of you becoming the person who wakes up at 7 a.m. Like the resistance is part of the growth. That's how we become the person who does it, because we didn't start as that person. So we're like unlearning all of our current thinking and story habits around maybe the time we wake up in the morning, and to earn becoming that person. Some of the other things that we can do, one of the things I love to do is ask why. Like, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? And ask why like 7 times. Get to a meaningful why. So an example could be, why do I want to wake up at 7 a.m.? Because I want to have an hour just to myself in the morning. Okay, but why is that important? Because I, care about like making better decisions for myself in the day and having a good relationship with myself, slowing down. But why is that important? You see what I mean? Like we're really going to, but why? And you would get to, because my work is better, my relationships with other people is better, my self-trust builds, I start to like myself more. So really getting into all those whys, so when that alarm goes off in the morning, we're not just dealing with our primitive brain being like, well, I don't know, we don't actually need to. Do you remember yesterday we didn't wake up at this time and we totally survived? So really getting to a meaningful why. This is not only does it create clarity of like exactly why we're doing it, but it also builds pleasure and commitment, in which we know are part of flow. The next thing we want to do is find what's doable. So when you are doing something new, our brains immediately go into, we can't, we don't know the things, it's going to be hard, it's going to be challenging. And we want to go to like, but what do I already know about this? What can I do about this? Like, why is it possible that exactly as I am, I'm able to create this? So it could be, for example, well, I've gotten up at 7 a.m. before. It could be, it's just 30 minutes earlier than last time. Like, finding evidence for why you can do something takes away all the like shitty brain stories of like fears and doubts and judgments and all of that stuff. This is getting wet. I should add actually one of the things with focus is, it's not just that we want everything doable, otherwise we get bored. We want something that's also challenging. It's that balance of challenging and doable that creates focus and clarity. You also want to create very clear and unambiguous goals. Our brain loves constant feedback. It responds very well to it. And what we tend to do is set a goal. Let's say that you're a coach and you want to create a client, and your brain's like, well, the only result we can measure is getting the client, which like is the long way. It's a very hustly way, right? We've got all this journey to go to, instead of being like, okay, so what we want to do is we want to get someone on a call. We want to have the call. We want to make the offer. We want to maybe get 2 no's and then get the 3rd yes, whatever it might be. By clarity, I just mean clearness of decisions. Like, things are clear versus unclear. So often we are like, it's like the opposite of I don't know, right? We just have a lot of clarity. We're willing to make decisions. We are very clear. It's not necessarily that we're making the right decisions all the time. We are just moving with like a quiet brain so that we are able to make decisions and things become obvious and we are connected to what the next move is. And the next move, instead of in our own head thinking about all the reasons why we can't make any moves. So yeah, we want to be building in positive feedback the whole time into our brain. And the third point, and the thoughts, and even you guys have a think about what are some thoughts that create clarity for you. So clarity is really like certainty and willingness to make decisions. So it could be something as simple like what I've just spoken about. I know where to start. I know one thing that I can do today. I am figuring this out, which is very different to like, I don't know where to start, and all of those hustle models we spoke about. So again, if you guys have anything to share, any other thoughts that you have that allow you to create clarity, give them to the group. The last part we want to speak about is how to create effortless ease. Yes, this is what I want. Such a good thought. So good. Thanks, Lori. How to create effortless ease. This is figure outable. Yes. I can trust myself. Yes. And once we have the thoughts, right, what we really want to be doing is building belief in them, which is really just finding evidence for them. So even Kathleen's latest one, I can trust myself. When we're looking to build that muscle, we want to be exploring the ways that we already do trust ourselves. And even the little ways, because our brain tends to dismiss those, but the little ways, like I trust myself to get out of bed in the morning. I trust myself to brush my teeth. By positive feedback. Yes, what I mean by positive feedback is really so exactly like I said, you are teaching your brain that things are working because you are achieving things on the steps along the way. So for example, the example I gave of not having a client and having a client versus not having a client, but then, someone commented on my social media post, and then, I got a DM, a message, someone asked me to have a chat about coaching, and then, we had a call, and they scheduled a consult call, and then, someone else contacted me about coaching. Can you see how like we're reinforcing to our brain that things are working instead of nothing's working until the moment we get paid, right? Even like some of my current time hackers said to me, they weren't celebrating when they were making money, they were celebrating only when the money came in, instead of celebrating when someone says yes, and then celebrating when they accept the calendar invite, and it's like there's so many more reasons, or opportunities I should say, to give your brain positive feedback that things are working that aren't just the end result. Even the waking up at 7 a.m. example. It could be I used to wake up at 8 a.m. and then I wake up at 7:45 and then I wake up at 7:30 and then I wake up at 7:15, right? Like just really looking for the steps in the way that you can use to constantly be giving your brain feedback. Clarity is a confidence to clear your brain of the nonsense and concentrate on what matters to me. Yes, perfect, thank you. Okay, so that's clarity. Next up, we're going to speak about effortless ease. And this really comes, in fact, you guys start. Like, I'm ready to jump right in. But I want you guys to think about what created effortless ease for you in the past. If you can think of a time where something felt effortlessly easy. Let me know. Let us all know. And it could be anything. How do you bounce back from the rejection? Yeah, we're going to speak about that. Yeah. Good question. I'll just answer it now because I'll wait for other people to answer about how they've created effortless ease. But really, like, what is rejection? What is bad feedback? Like, sit with that for a minute. What is actually rejection? Why is it a negative thing? Why is feedback a negative thing? Why is bad feedback a negative thing? How might bad feedback and rejection be the path to create any result that you want? What if it's part of it? Giving myself luxurious amounts of time to complete tasks. Yes. Effortless ease comes back to self-trust. Yes. This is fun. This feels natural. Yes. So good. Okay, exactly. You guys are all onto it. you know, right? It really is starting off with believing that you can do things. Now, here's the tricky thing. Sometimes we're doing something new and we're like, well, I've never done this before, so how do I know if I'm going to do it? That comes up a lot. Our brain uses that story a lot. I want to remind you all that everything that you've done, including me going live on Facebook, you guys watching it, was at one point something that you didn't know how to do. This is literally inevitable, which ties back into Jessica's question of like everything that you've done has been something where you've failed your way to success. Like we can't do something until we can do it. We don't come out of the womb typing emails and responding to text messages, believing you are resilient. Yes, totally. Rejection is growth also. Yes, rejection is growth. Like every time you get rejected, you are teaching your brain that rejection doesn't equal death anymore, because that's what it thinks. Because it used to be that when we were rejected from tribes, it was very dangerous for us. So it's very much our primitive brain piping up and being afraid of rejection. That's why I asked Jessica, what actually is rejection? Like, what do we experience in rejection? It's just a bit of discomfort. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of rejection, right? And I'm sure all of you guys have too, and we're still here. Like, it isn't as bad as our brain thinks it is. Our brain literally thinks it's dangerous and it's not. Resilience, yes. Also, finding that balance of learning versus achieving, right? Really, what we want to be committed to is where we are going to be, like 5 years from now, over now, and this creates ease because we're less attached. When we've spoken a lot about attachment and need, but it's the point of like whatever you are working on now is just to help you with the next goal and the next goal and the next goal. Then there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. I love that. If we are just in a constant state of evolution, which we are, then what I see so often that creates the stress is we attach to needing our results now instead of seeing your results now. I hope for each of you are stepping stones into like where you will be 2 years from now. That you get to decide to have the view of like the long term over the short term, with a brain that's wired to be short term focused, right? I get it. It's how it's wired. But there's so many ways that you've already changed your brain. Anyway, yeah, you're all really loving this rejection, and I'm for it. We also want to speak about like hyping ourselves up instead of hyping ourselves down, even through failure, right? Like, what if experiencing failure is an opportunity to double down on your self-belief and your commitment instead of to throw in the towel? Because actually failing requires more belief from us. It's like building a muscle of I can do this even when it's not working how I thought it was working. I like to think of it like this. Like, think about what happens. You go through like all the struggle and all the brain bullshit and all the drama of not achieving. And when you come out of it and you're successful, what happens is almost like a high. We literally spoke about this today in my Time Hackers group. Like, it's literally addictive. We feel unstoppable. We feel capable, not because we just were able to automatically use Facebook Live, but because we figured it out. Like, that feeling of figuring something out, if we could buy that over the counter, we would all be junkies, right? So you want to be thinking, our brain's focused on like, I don't want to experience the rejection or the failure now. That rejection or failure is so tiny. If you look at the time scale of your life, that like moment is so tiny, but if you keep leaning in and allowing it and going for it, what you're going to create on the other side is so much better. So really attaching to the bigger picture, which we spoke about a little bit yesterday, and committing to where you are going over where you are now, and hyping yourself up along the way. It's hard, and I can do hard. I've failed, and I can do failure. Like, failure is learning. I think it's the idea of spending all the time and effort and coming up short. Yeah, but when we do that, we short ourselves. We're like, oh, I better not really decide to go all in case I don't succeed, so I'm not going to go all in. And then we don't succeed, and what happens is, let's say this is the point of success, we like burn all of our energy almost trying and almost succeeding, and I don't know if we're going to get there, and we don't really feel it, and we're just like running ourselves to the ground when this is the success point. But we're like, I can't give 100%, because if I give 100%, don't know, I'm probably going to tire myself out and not succeed. So I'll cling on to the fact that it might not work, and that reason is the exact reason we don't succeed. Another thing we want to do, and I think someone mentioned this, yeah, this is fun. Have fun. Have fun now. Have fun in your goal. Have fun outside of your goal. Not everything that you need to do needs to be encompassing your goal just because you have a goal. Like the more you diversify your energy and your time and what you are doing, it's like feeding into the kind of relationship that you want to have with yourself. So the thought can really be, this is fun, this gets to be easy, this is happening for me, I'm earning my success, I'm figuring this out. Like, yeah, those are the thoughts that effortless ease. So those are like the three flow creators. And it really comes down to, setting clear goals, eliminating distractions, challenging yourself, creating pleasure and enjoyment now, even in that moment of, like, how often have any of you working on a goal, like thinking, let's say it's a work goal, are you thinking about that work goal outside of your work hours? Like, are you ever truly switching off? And what would change if you did? In fact, research, like scientific studies show that type A people, so people that are highly motivated and want to be highly successful, get their best ideas when they are in a rest period. So like maybe you guys have even experienced this, where you're like doing something like cooking and your brain's not really anywhere, and you're like, oh, I just solved that problem that I've been having without even trying. So we definitely want to be making sure we have rest periods. So you suggest micro goals, go from annual goal down to a singular one to get to the annual goal. So I have definitely a podcast on goals for growth that covers all of those and really like how to use goals for you. But yeah, it's that same thing that we spoke about with the like one client call. If that's the only goal, then you can only succeed once in the year. The more goals you have, the more you can succeed and the more you can fail. And as Suzanne said, failure is feedback. The more you are getting feedback, the quicker you are going to grow. There's no doubt about it. Failure is literally, when we take away all of our emotions and all of our judgments, it's like, I thought this was going to happen and it didn't happen. Now I know that that's not how it works. What else can I try? It's like the only problem we have with failure is what we make it mean about us and the fact that we have a brain that's wired for survival in a different time that wants to avoid failure at all costs. Now here's the thing, everything that we've spoken about today is all nice in theory, and we get it, and we're like, oh my god, this sounds so good, I'm just gonna do it. But how often are you saying you're gonna do things and following someone's steps and introducing different models and processes, and then literally pulling yourself out of it because we're just not built that habit around it? So what I want to offer all of you is, I have a very special announcement. Actually, a few of you it's going to surprise because you didn't know this yet and you had already applied to Time Hackers Mastermind. I'm launching a lifelong program. Time Hackers, so those of you that have applied, is going into the lifelong program mode, which means we are building a community of badass, ambitious, high achievers that are going to take on time and break away from all the stories that we have that hustle creates results. That long hours means working hard, that we have to do weekends and evenings, that results even take time to begin with. Really, Time Hackers is all about removing time from the success equation and focusing on the three things that actually create results. Because if time genuinely created our results, everyone of the same age would be at the same point at the same time. Everyone in the same company that had been working there would be on the same salary. Like, everyone would have the same number of kids, all of this stuff. And we know that isn't true. We know we all have the same amount of hours in a day, the same amount of weeks in a year, all of that good stuff. So the difference is not time. It really is how we manage our brains. And what I mean by that is, so often people come to me and they are pissed off at their brains. They're fucked off at how it's got all these thoughts and it's wired for a different time and it's not always on board and it's wired to be lazy and it's wired to create anxiety and it's wired for indecision and all of these things. And we spend so long arguing with ourselves and beating ourselves up that we really distract ourselves far away from our goals anyway. So that's definitely going to slow us down, and it slows us down years. The second thing that we focus on is how we make decisions. how do we make decisions for success? We make quick decisions. So for those of you that had already applied to Time Hackers as the 3-month program, I met with my mastermind this weekend. I made the decision and I implemented it within 3 days. This is what I want for each of you. Imagine if you made decisions, implemented, and followed through. Like, how much time would you save? How much quicker would you move? Again, this is going to save years. I've had a client come to me and be like, oh, you know, in 10 years' time, I've got this idea for this like mindfulness business. She's already up, running, making money, covering her rent, signing clients all the time. Yay, so good. And then the third thing, after we've got into the place of making good decisions and not dickhead decisions, like I'm going to get 20 things done today, non-hustlery decisions, right? The kind of decisions that build trust and flow. Once we have them in place and we are following them through, the third thing that we are going to become experts in is how we face fear and failure. Like really, and I'm making my masterminders do this a little bit now, but really it's like, how do we celebrate failure? How do we change our story about it? I promise you, every person you look at that is more successful or further along didn't get there by not failing. They've actually been willing to fail 100 times more. So we live in an environment and a society where everywhere you go, people are speaking about not having enough time and things taking time and time healing all wounds and give things time and it's not the right time. All of these stories, time is the surface level problem. We are going to eliminate it in this space and we are going to focus on exactly what creates results. What ends up happening is you work less, you achieve more, you drop the hustle. It really is. How can we create results with effortless ease and fun? And the reason why I've decided to make this a lifelong community, just to give you all some insight, is because I've realized what a big fucking deal it is to take time on. It's just a huge concept. There's so much misinformation around it. We speak about it all the time. Everyone's speaking about it all the time. And I want to build a community of time hackers. So we are literally raising the conversation and the results around us. And literally, and I mean, Lindsay says she can speak to it as well. When you are in a room like this, where everyone is working on this at the same time, it just creates compounded results. You have more people to celebrate you, more people to support you, more celebrations that defy the rules of time as you know them, which make it easier for your brain to be like, huh, maybe things don't have to take time. Maybe I can create a result today. You also, in this space, I position you all to be leaders and to be seen as leaders, and that immediately up-levels you as well. It's a place for you to give value as well as to receive it. Yeah, just my, So we are going to be kicking off in February, in about 3 weeks. The investment for the full lifetime access, including weekly live coaching calls, it's the best, yes, Lindsay. Including weekly live coaching calls, video trainings and modules where I teach you step by step how to do these things and how to think in a way. So often we like buy programs, but we don't know how to always get what we came for. And one of the things that I teach you is how to always get what you came for, whether you are getting coached or other people are getting coached. So it's also the mindset behind always creating what you want, which is really powerful. And I would say invaluable, because you get to apply it to all the areas of your life. So weekly live coaching, you get the 3 questions every week that I use consistently and still use, but that I used in 2020 to 30x my business. You get prompts to get your brain redirected away from the shitty thoughts into where you want it to be. You get Ask a Coach, where you can literally post coaching at any point in time, and it will get answered by a coach. What else do we have in there? I think that's it for now. So yeah, it's really built to be everything you need and nothing extra. Like it's not a distraction. No more distractions. We come in, we focus, we get to work, we focus, right? We focus, we have clarity, and we allow it to be effortlessly easy. This is what creates results. And we're going to be working together for a long ass time. If you guys have any questions, now is the time. I'm going to drop the link where you can sign up. I will also drop the information, because there is an information call happening tomorrow, which some of you guys know about because you applied to the mastermind, so you're already set up for the call, but I'm going to be leaving that information. You can sign up and join the call. You can join the call and then sign up. I would just really think about right now, your brain might be saying like, I mean, you guys can tell me anything that your brain is saying, I'm here for you. But your brain might be saying like, oh, like I'll wait, right? Such a good one. Our brain loves that one. But waiting is a habit, and it won't just be showing up here. And if waiting is your habit, how much is it costing you? And are you ready to stop having it cost you now? Maybe your brain's offering you indecision, and I don't know, it's opposite of clarity. And again, that's a habit. One of the things that I say firmly to my current time hackers is there is no such thing as indecision. You are always sitting in a decision. So if you are deciding to be in indecision, typically you are deciding in action. So be very clear with yourself, like, do you want these results? And does this sound like the room that you want to be in? And if so, what's underneath the surface level stories? Is it like typically it's either going to be not believing that you're going to show up and make the most out of it? Just don't worry, you guys are my people. It's built for you guys. It's also going to be, you know, like, how do I know this can help me? Nothing's helped me in the past. And what I'll say to that is, of course, nothing's helped you in the past, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Right? Like, there's no point looking at the past to see if we can find the solutions there. We want to be looking in the future. Do you see this place, this group, me as your coach, being a time hacker as what you want in your future? Because if you do, hack time and make it happen now. Yeah, that's it from me. I do want to leave a minute or two for the opportunity to ask me any questions. Maybe some of you are starstruck. The price is actually, just so everyone knows, it's gone down for the lifetime access. So it's a steal. And obviously the first people are going to be my pioneers. So I'm excited to have you guys in. Feel free to ask me anything. I'll stay on for another 60 seconds. If there's no questions in that 60 seconds, I will bid you adieu. And I will see some of you guys tomorrow. I can drop the link as well. So here's the link to sign up. Here is the link to, and here's the information. The call. I will also put this in a separate post with the day 3, post I'm creating for you all with all the notes from today. What was the investment? I missed it. Oh, it's £3,000 for lifetime. So it's less than what you were going to commit to because you're already on my call for tomorrow. I feel like Santa. It's like everyone that signed up and said, yeah, we're in for the 3 months for the 5K now is getting lifetime access for 60% of the price. What? So good. Wait, let me find the link to the call because that's going to be useful. And any other questions? I've also, Tana, so you know, the call is going to be on Tuesdays, an hour earlier than we spoke about. So I got your email about that. Okay, here's the call information. That's everything. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. I will see some of you tomorrow. I will post all of this. What does lifetime access entail again? Okay, perfect. So it's weekly live group coaching calls. It's our own dedicated community and Facebook group for ongoing chatter and coaching between the calls. Included in that is like an Ask a Coach option where you can ask a coach questions at any time. There are also going to be video modules of me teaching you all in detail the steps that we've spoken about tonight. And here's the best news, is this program is for sure going to evolve over the next lifetime, right? And you guys are going to get in now and get access to every change that's made. There's going to be no like, oh, now I've updated things, you have to pay more. Like, you guys are in now, you are paying one price now, and you are in for all the iterations that come in the future. New videos, new training, however it comes. Thank you. I'm super nervous about driving in traffic and getting home every week. Perfect. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you. It's going to be so fun, you guys. We're going to fucking take on time and win. We're going to change our whole dialogue around time. Do you know how game-changing that is? Like, you guys know I'm a reformed hustler. This work has changed my life. Like, It's allowed me to be more present in my relationship and have more fun and have a fucking bath on a Wednesday morning and not be pissed off when my mum calls me because I'm in the middle of something and hustling to get it done. Like, it's everything, and it's my gift to each of you. I can't wait to see you guys in there. Come to the call tomorrow. Sign up. Those links are there. I will put them in the separate post from today. I'm going to love you and leave you guys before I get emotional. Seriously, I want you all to think about where you could be 1 year from now, 5 years from now. Like, imagine being on the live coaching call with me 5 years from now. What's changed because you spent 5 fucking years taking on time? Like, how many hours do you think you would save? I had one client and she said in 2020, so we already started working together halfway through the year, she worked 300 hours less, made more money, and had more presence with her family. Someone just last week in Time Hackers said, oh, I've done all my work in 50% of the time. This is what we're creating. This is the future. All right, lovely people. That is it. I will see some of you tomorrow. I'm going to keep the Facebook group open for a few days, and then it's going to be deleted for good, because we're setting up our whole Time Hackers community. So if you've enjoyed even participating and helping and coaching each other today, then you're going to be able to get that for life. All right, that's it from me. Bye, lovelies. Oh, Vicky, I want to be skeptical, but I'm getting a teeny bit excited. Is there a cap on how many people? There is no cap on how many people that are going to be it in 5 years' time. I'll be honest, my goal is for it to be thousands. But for the first people that come now, I can also tell you, like, this is it. It's going to be more hands-on of me at the beginning, and then as I'm less hands-on, I'm going to be building out better assets and resources for you. Listen, you are going to get what you came for within 90 days. That's the goal. And even that's like an extended goal. How long do we have to make the decision? Listen, it's open all year round. That's the plan for now anyway. It's open all year round. Our first call happens in about 3 weeks. You'll get the information tomorrow. But here's the thing. If you know you want to do something and you are waiting, why are you waiting? Because to those of you that don't wait, you get immediate impact from saying yes to yourself, an immediate commitment. One of my clients in this round of Time Hackers literally said, the moment I paid, something changed for me. Like, the moment I committed. So why give up on that? Like, one thing that you know I'm going to be teaching you is decisions don't get easier over time. They actually get harder. We get more fear, more doubt, more uncertainty, more opportunity for our primitive brain to get louder. So say yes now. The people that say yes sooner start getting results sooner. Like, it's not that you are putting off paying, it's that you are putting off creating the results that you want to create. That's how you want to think about it. Another thing I will say is, last week in Time Hackers, it's something that I was teaching you guys about how to invest time for a return. One of the things I said that really touched one of my clients was, we spend time like it's unlimited, and we hoard money like we can't create more. And the opposite is true. Our time is limited. Money can be created. Like, I just want you to think about how you are treating your time and how you are showing up, and what it would be like to you if you drastically cut down the time you spend in indecision, in fear of failure, in shitty self-talk, in I can't, and I'm waiting, and it's going to get easier, and I just need to do this one other thing. If you are looking for a reason to not invest in Time Hackers, you're going to find them. Your brain's got loads of them. All the reasons to not make a change, and nothing's worked in the past, and we're scared, all of that stuff. It's going to have all of them. But why might it be worth it? What could this be the start of for you? Where could you be in 1 year because of the decision that you make now? So if you want to say yes, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to give this decision time, you are giving your brain time to talk you back into your old habit of not taking action. This is a fucking revolution, and you're invited. That's it from me. Love you guys. Bye.